Hello stamping friends from sunny Melbourne. Sunny for a few hours this afternoon, and then I think it's going to rain, as it usually does in Melbourne. Today I'm going to make a diamond fold card. So I got this idea from Jessie Holton. And I've modified it a bit. I think I've used different measurements, which I think are a bit easier. So this is my prototype, which I've made. So I'm making this card today, right now, for the very first time. There's my actual, that's the actual size it's going to be. So it's a bit bigger, and the measurements are a bit easier. So let's get started. So you start with an A4 sheet of paper, and I've got Blushing Bride here, and I'm going to cut it into 10 centimeter strips lengthways. So I'll get 2 cards from this sheet of paper. Okay, so now the idea is to divide this paper, so it should basically be 3 times as long as it is wide. In an ideal world, an A4 sheet of paper would be 30 centimeters long, but as it is, it's actually 3 millimeters short. So now we have to divide this length of paper into 6 equal portions. So this is where the measurements get tricky, but actually it's only 3 millimeters short of 30 centimeters. So my 6 panels of scored sheet will actually be 5 centimeters width, except for the 2 end panels, which will be 1.5 millimeters shorter than they should be. And this actually doesn't make a difference to the finished card. It doesn't actually show up, I felt. I'm just going to try it today and see if it's actually the case with the cardstock. But on my prototype, you really couldn't tell that it was 1.5 centimeters short on the ends. Yeah, so that means that you score it at 4.85, 9.85, and then 14.85 is the center point of the card. So you don't score it there, you just notch the top and the bottom, and then again you score it 19.85 and 24.85. So 5 centimeter widths, and the end panels will be 4.85 instead of 5 centimeters wide. So I'll go ahead and do that. So here is my scored strip of cardstock, and now the idea is to do the diagonals. So for the diagonals, if you can see, so you score from the first panel one end to the center notch on the other end. So and then come the opposite direction from the bottom of the center panel to the top of the first panel, and it should cross halfway across the second scoring mark. I hope it makes sense. I'll just go ahead and do it, and I'll draw a diagram to make it easier. So here is my diagram showing exactly where I've put the score lines. So that's my 29.7 centimeter by 10 centimeter strip of card, and I've made score lines at 5 centimeter widths, except for the center panel, which I've just notched at the top and at the bottom. And I've done a diagonal score from the first score line to the center panels to make this kind of diamond shape. So I will go ahead and do that now. And so I hope you can see that. It may not show up. It is a sunny day and there's a big shadow in the middle of my camera. Sorry. I'll try and move this along. Yeah, that's better. Yep, so if you can see that, there are some score lines there, but it basically mirrors this diagram here. Now for the folding, you start off by folding the ends in, and again on the second score line fold it in, and do the same on the other side, and in again, and then for the diagonals fold them back and back again, and on the other side fold back and fold back. And now it should all collapse in, and there you have your diamond fold card, and give it a nice little squash. And as you can see, you can't tell that the ends are slightly shorter. Maybe on this side you can, but it's okay. I think it looks all right. And of course the card will stand up as well. So there you go. Right, now the next part is to decorate the panels. So this center diamond actually measures 7 by 7 centimeters. So I've cut some panels which are 6.5 by 6.5 just to fit inside, like so. And I've done a big square one for the middle one, and this one will be decorated with a triangle. And I've done some, so that these squares are all 6.5 by 6.5 cut into halves and quarters, and then I've got a quarter here, and so on, so you get the idea, and a couple of side panels as well. So I'll stick them all down with multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'll be back. And so just doing the end panels now. So I've stuck all the other panels down. Now the end panels are 4.5 by 9.5, and just put a bit of this lovely multi-purpose liquid glue there, and the other side. This DSP is actually retired. It was the Tropical Oasis DSP. But I mean, it's a good way of using up your old DSP, making cards like this. But obviously you can use any of the newer DSPs that are out. And so there's the card. Now I'm just going to put a little sentiment on the front. I'll make this a birthday card for my sister-in-law, and the writing is on the back here or on the back here. You can either write directly on the card, like if it's a light card like this one, or you can cut out a panel of Whisper White and write on that. Okay, so I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so I've stamped the sentiment with the Timeless Tropical stamp set onto a piece of Whisper White, and I've cut it out using the Timeless label punch, and that's going to sit there with some stamping dimensionals. Right in the middle. Okay, and then I've die cut with the Tour Wild Rose stamp and die set. So I've just used the dies. These are the Wild Rose dies, and I've used the 2 leaves So these two leaves, and I've cut some leaves out with garden green and mint macaron, and I'm just going to stick those in there. Again, I'll use the multi-purpose liquid glue, and I just apply a little bit on the end there, so that the whole thing is not stuck down, and that gives it a bit of a 3D effect. Because the leaves are not completely stuck down, so that looks quite nice. And again, a little bit here. And you can even take your pick tool and just press it down in there to make sure it's stuck. It will stick once it dries. And then do the other side. Well, I mean I'm going to put these on the other side. To give it a bit of balance. And so there you have it, my finished card. And the best part about this card is it all fits into a little square envelope like that. And that's my finished card, and I just have to finish off with a little birthday message on the back. And I will be doing that with calligraphy. Now I just wait about an hour or two for the ink to dry completely before I rub out the pencil.